So the subject for today is about freedom from attachments and aversions, which brings liberation. It brings liberation because, as it has been put on the scriptures, likes and dislikes, or attachments and aversions, are the source of unhappiness, the source of suffering. So when we find a way to free ourselves from aversions and attachments, we find ourselves again at peace, free from suffering. There's another element that is equally important but is easier to attain, which is awakening. Awakening is easier because awakening is only the revelation that you are not the person that you believe you are. And that can be attained in a relatively easy way. So that once that is attained, the longest part of the path is to get rid of the attachments and aversions. So there is this story of a young man that goes to the Buddha and tells the Buddha, "Master, I want to be free. I want happiness." So the Buddha said, "It's easy. First you get rid of the I, then you get rid of the wants, and then what is left is happiness." In this little story, the Buddha is telling you, and to me, all of us can see that the path to happiness or freedom is very easy. It's just these two things. But we need to understand what he meant. So what he meant is that first you wake up from the dream that you are so and so, that you see through this identity that you have created, which in fact you have not created, it has been created for you by conditioning since the moment you were born. So you have to see through it. You have to see that it's not true, that you are not so and so, that you are awareness, that you are consciousness. That part of the path is relatively short, and it can be attained in a relatively short period of time if you are really determined. For example, presently I have a session that is a 3-hour session to trigger the awakening, and I see people getting it, many. But I always see that it depends on how much they want it, how much they really want to awaken. So once that is behind you, comes the longer part, which is to get rid of the attachments and aversions. And this is what I'm going to talk about. Of course, you can initiate this process of getting rid of the attachments and aversions before awakening, of course, right? You can do it. You will see that the technology to do it is applicable before and after awakening. But of course, it is much easier to do it after awakening. After awakening, it becomes easier to go through this process. Anyway, anyone can do it, awakened or not.